Hello, 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 my name is Kira. I still don't have a jazzy opening, so let's just get right into it. I wanted to take a look at the Hazbin Hotel songs and how they function in the musical. So this is not a rating of what I like to listen to the most, but rather what is most effective at moving the plot along, at character progression, at establishing scene, setting, whatever. How well do these songs do in the greater musical scheme? So I'm just doing the songs from the Amazon Prime show because I think it should exist in a vacuum just fine. And because they're so much fun to listen to, we're going to listen to them. And then I'll talk about them. The ones that got the little, sing-alongs from Prime, I'll be able to just show, but unfortunately for those that they didn't do that for, I'm gonna have to put some sort of copyright thing through the visuals, which sucks, I'm sorry. I hate copyright. But let's just start with Happy Day in Hell. Okay. Alright, here we go. Happy Day in Hell.
Army wants to meet. He asked if I could go instead.
But the extermination just happened. What could they want this soon after?
I can do this. Somehow I know it. I'll get heaven behind my plans.
Charlie, hold on.
There's just no way I could blow it. Not this once in a lifetime chance.
It's just a meeting.
To change their minds and touch their hearts or whatever angels have.
This could be bad.
Cheer up, Aggie. This could be swell. Something tells me that today will be a happy day in hell.
Okay, but just don't sing to them.
That bitch is halfway down the street.
Is she?
Oh, she's dancing.
No.
There's a warm, fuzzy feeling that wafts through the air. Every street's so revealing, it's hard not to stare. It's a realm so appealing, it beats anywhere. If you don't mind the smell, it's a happy day in hell. Hi, mister.
Go fuck yourself! There's an endless trash fire that's burning my soul.
Hello.
Got a ton of barbed wire to shove in his hole.
Excuse me.
What is required, we all have our role.
I'm not doing well. Another shitty day in hell.
If I can show them the dream I've dreamed that any soul can change,
Those angels' minds
then
are hard
they will
to
know
change.
everyone can be redeemed from the evil to the strange.
They're bloodthirsty and deranged.
I can hear all their stories, the lost and displaced, and I know that they're more of an acquired taste. But if I open the door and I give them a place at my Hazbin Hotel, it'll be a happy day in hell.
Let's just change it.
From the porn studio where the cinephiles go to watch award-winning David Bukkake shows, to the cannibal town where they don't wear a frown. Cause holy shit, oh my gosh, why? Then I don't give a crow that his brain's got in my eye. Cause I know I can spare them from heaven's genocide.
There's an endless trash fire
I just
that's
know
burning
it.
my soul.
I'll get heaven behind my plans. There's
kinda
just no
like the barbed
way
wire
I
that's
could
shoved
blow
in my
it. Not this once in a lifetime chance to change their minds.
And touch my parts.
No thank you. I'm just gonna fulfill my destiny.
You're lost, bitch.
I can already tell. Today is gonna be a fucking happy day in hell.
Okay, so talking about Happy Day in Hell. Obviously, it establishes Charlie's character. It doesn't do any character progression for her, but it establishes her as this very happy, always on the bright side character who's able to look past all this terrible stuff in hell in order to, really just always see the bright side of things. And this is something that will it is an integral part of her character, but it becomes more mature as the show goes on. So, you know, so it's great for just establishing her character. It also does a nice job of establishing Vagie's character and their relationship as well. Charlie, the happy-go-lucky one, Vagie, much more kind of grounded and also just, you know, concerned, you know, when she's singing about the angels, they're deranged. It also does set up for Vagie's reveal later on for being an angel, because otherwise how would she know that? I always have to laugh at the part where Charlie's like, whatever angels have, because it's like, your dad is an angel, and poor Vagie here is like, angel in disguise. Like, I have a heart. But, you know, so it establishes Charlie's character and establishes hell as a setting. So it does a good job with both of those. So in the grander scheme of things, it's not like the most powerful opening number I've ever heard, but it does what it really needs to do. So let's put it in a little ranking list. Okay, awesome. Little tier list here. Okay, so Happy Day in Hell, you know, it does establish character, it establishes setting. It does not move the plot forward necessarily, because we already found out that she's got the thing with Adam, so... I'm trying to be harsh here, because when I've thought about this before, I was putting them like all in S and A. So this does not mean that I think it's a bad song. It's just when I'm trying to rank them against each other, they're all good songs. So I would put it as a B, just because, you know, it does not... It establishes Charlie, certainly establishes Vagie a little bit. It doesn't really help with much more of the hotel, but it does do a good job of establishing hell. Which... we do need to do that, and I do like that it also introduces like Cannibal Town, and we do see the V Tower very briefly. I do want to include visuals because of course it's a musical that you're meant to see the visuals for. Like, it's great to listen to the music on its own, but it's like when people expect you to do Shakespeare and just like read it when it was meant to be performed. Shakespeare meant for his plays to be performed, for people to see it that way. So it just makes me, you know, whenever they're teaching Shakespeare and they're just having the kids like read it, it's like, don't do that. So anyway, because of the visuals that help to establish hell a lot, I'm giving it a B. So, moving on. Luckily, Hell is Forever has a sing-along, so don't have to worry about copyright here.
It's almost out of time. Guess we should get into it.
Oh, fuck! Ugh. Ugh. Okay, I've got a lot to get through and not a lot of time, and I feel like you weren't hearing me before, so here goes. I know Hell's population is out of control. It's a bad situation, it's taking a toll. If we rehab these sinners and cleanse all their souls at my Hazbin hotel. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Right, extermination. I know you guys fly down just to kill once a year, and it must be annoying to schlep all the way here. If they join you in heaven, that trip disappears. You can wave back your farewell. It'll be a happy day.
Let me stop you right there. Save us all precious time.
Okay.
If what you're suggesting is letting them climb up the ladder, oh, they'd rather cross the pearly gates.
Well,
Sorry, sweetie, but there's no defying their fates. 'Cause hell is forever, whether you like it or not. Had their chance to behave better, now they boil in the pot. 'Cause the rules are black and white, there's no use in trying to fight it. They're burning for their lives until we kill them again.
Okay,
Just
but-
try to chillax, babe, you're wasting your breath. Did I hear you imply that they don't deserve death? Are they winners, are they sinners? 'Cause it's cut and dry.
actually, if you take a look-
Fair is fair, an eye for an eye. Yeah. When all said and done, there's the question of fun. And for those of us with divine ordainment, extermination is entertainment. Guitar solo, fuck yeah! Hell is forever, whether you like it or not. Had their chance to behave better, now they boil in the pot. 'Cause the rules are black and white, there's no use in trying to fight it. They're burning for their lives until we kill them again. Fucking hell is forever, and it's meant to suck a lot. So give up your dumb endeavor, 'cause you don't have a shot. Long as I got your determination to move up the next extermination.
What?
Can't wait a whole year to slaughter those little cunts. I know it's just been a week, but we'll be back in 6 months.
Wait, can you... Oh, shit.
I love Hell Is Forever. It is actually one of the ones that I listen to the most, but it does so much, I think, in such a short period of time, and it's not something that I think I caught on to the first time I was watching it, but it does a lot for Adam, who is, of course, like one of our main antagonists. It does a lot for Heaven, and it does for Charlie, and it also progresses the plot. So it's got a lot of things going for it, because first of all, funny as a jingle ball. So Heaven, of course, is being represented in the song. Its way of thinking is being represented with the black and white. They don't have the shades of gray that Charlie will try to introduce later in You Didn't Know. So it really is establishing the way that our antagonists think. And that, of course, includes Adam. Now, Adam is great in this song because so far he's come across as just like an idiot, right? Like he thinks that, oh, these hologram ribs, oh, that's so funny, and why would you want to be with the bassist? I play the bass. And he just comes across as just this normal kind of jerky guy. Which is good because we've just seen how horrible Hell is, and so we need to see Heaven as bad. So, actually having Adam in this song start singing about how extermination is entertainment, how he's not going to give any of these souls a chance, how it is fun to kill, it all of a sudden changes him from this just, okay, well, he's terrible, to, okay, he's actually, like, kind of scary. Like, this is an angel? This is Adam? This is the guy who they're sending down to represent Heaven, and he thinks that it's fun to go kill sinners? Like, it takes Heaven and it gives it such a more sinister quality, and takes Adam and makes him that much more sinister. And of course it also progresses the plot because the 6-month extermination thing. So, is there anything else it does? Oh, well, it also does a nice part with Charlie, how she just gets, like, spun out of the room, because that will change. So, because it plants the seeds of how she is treated by Heaven, when she does eventually change and grow, it can be contrasted with this song directly. How she just gets bulldozed over. And her happy-go-lucky attitude gets just bulldozed over by the reality of the power of Heaven. So, looking at Hell Is Forever on the tier list. Okay. Where is it? Is this one? Okay. Also, I love how they always put Adam in just like an upper position. Like, this is talking about just it's talking about the visuals, but I already said that the visuals are important. They always put him in like this towering position above Charlie. He's always above her. And this will change in songs that come later. So they're already doing it with the visuals, and I love when he gets the holier than thou walking down the clouds. It just, it is so good. It's so good. He makes such a menacing presence. And so because this song, it pushes the plot forward, it introduces both Heaven and Adam as actually pretty sinister villains who can't see shades of gray, they only see black and whites, sinners or not sinners. Basically deserving of final death or not. Which is going to end up being, of course, the central idea in this show. Like, can souls be redeemed? Can people make up for their mistakes? Is it possible to do that? So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this song at the top. You can disagree with me, but unfortunately I'm the one making this video. It progresses the song along. It introduces like Heaven and Adam. It helps with Charlie, and it's so good. It's so good at establishing just who we are up against. Now, I don't think it'll stay first in the S tier, but for now. Okay, now unfortunately Stayed Gone doesn't have a sing-along, which sucks because it has some of my favorite visuals. So, I'm gonna have to put some sort of copyright thing through, so that sucks. Okay, anyway, Stayed Gone.
It's been 7 years!
You still pay.
That fucker is back!
Yeah, I thought he was gone for good too.
It's been 7 years!
You still pissed he almost beat you that time?
Fuck you!
Just saying.
Things have changed a lot since he left town.
That's for sure.
I gotta send a message of who's really in charge of things now. Welcome home. I'm gonna make you wish that you'd stayed gone. Say hello to a new status quo. Everyone knows that there's a brand new dawn. Turn the TV on!
Camera speeds rolling in 3, 2.
Top of the hour, and we're discussing a certain Hazbin who has been spotted cavorting around town after a 7-year absence. Did anybody miss him? Did anybody notice? More on tonight's program. So the radio demon is back in town. Why is he hanging around? What does that mean for your family? Well, Handley, I've got good news. He's a loser, a fossil, and I don't mean to sound hostile, but the demon is a coward! You can take that as gospel. Pulling my viewers impossible. I'm visual. He's barely audible. Stop giving him the time of day. Don't listen to a word he'd say. I hope he had a nice vacay, but he should have stayed away. While he hid in radio, we pivoted to video. Now his medium is getting bloody rare. Hell's been better since he split. Where's he been? Who gives a shit?
Salutations! Good to be back on the air. Yes, I know it's been a while since someone with style treated hell to a broadcast. Sinners rejoice!
What a dated voice!
Instead of a clout-chasing, mediocre video podcast, is Lux insecure, pursuing a lure, living between this fat and that? Is nothing working?
Ignore his chirping!
Every day he's got a new format.
You're looking at the future! He's the shit that comes before that!
Is Lux as strong as he purports, or is it based on his support? He'd be powerless without the other bees.
Oh, please!
And here's the sugar on the cream. He asked me to join his team. I said no, and now he's pissy. That's the tea.
You old-timey prick! I'll show you suffering!
Uh-oh, the TV is buffering.
I'll destroy you!
I'm afraid you've lost your signal. Let's begin. I'm gonna make you wish that I'd stayed gone. Tune on in when I'm done. Your status quo will know its race is run. Oh, this will be fun.
Okay, so, oh gosh, this is another one that I listen to so often. I think my favorite part in the entire, I know this sounds weird, but my favorite part in the entire episode might be when he goes like, status quo. I can't go that low, but it sounds so good. Oh my gosh. It's just so good. This had to be such a hard song to sing. Oh my gosh. This had to be, just such a difficult song to sing, and I love it. And I love this song a lot, which is why I wish I could put it higher in my ranking. The song does a lot to establish Vox's character, which is great. It also establishes Alistair's character, and it hasn't made the threat of ruining their status quo. However, don't get mad at me about this, Vox drops off the map after this episode until episode 8. And that's when they start singing about, like, you know, ending up on top of the heap. You know, Alistair's missing, Overlord's hanging by a thread, you know, all this stuff. So to have him come in and sing, like, this song and then just disappear, it means that any, like, character that we really got from him, it basically almost gets forgotten about. Because it's almost so easy to almost forget that he was in the show. Which I hate to say, because, like, I love Vox. He's got such a cool design, and I really enjoy his, like, completely unhinged personality. I know on Reddit, my brother watched the show, and now he's, like, you know, sharing all this stuff with me, all the fan art and all the, you know, edits that he's finding, and it was like, you know, okay, which demon would you want to sell your soul to? And, you know, it was like, well, you know, obviously Rosie, but second would be Vox, because I feel like you could just subtly screw with him by just, like, taking a pencil and just moving it, like, 1 inch to the right. And just do that, like, every single time that he sits down at his desk, the pencil has just moved a little further forward. I think you could make him absolutely insane within a week. And then you'd be out of your contract. Anyway, I am totally off topic. Because this song establishes a character who really doesn't do much in the show. Now, I hope that he does a lot in season 2. And season 2 will probably screw up my entire ranking system, and I'm excited about it. Because songs that didn't have much to say in season 1 will probably have a lot to say in season 2, and I'm super psyched for it. However, this song doesn't really have a lot to do with a character who really doesn't do much in season 2 except get completely obliterated once Alistair starts singing his part. And unfortunately, Alistair, you know, Alistair really doesn't destroy the status quo. He doesn't pull through on his threats. Now, we do get to see him looking super cool. But, unfortunately, looking super cool is not, like, character progression. It does establish his character as someone super creepy, so I can definitely put this, like, high up just for what it does for Alistair. And it does establish Vox, certainly, but because Vox just drops off the map the way he does, it does not... It just makes me a little sad, because the song is so great, and I wish that it could just kind of kept up with that Vox had, like, been there a little bit more, because he started so strong. But anyway, going to our little tier list. I love this song, though. I love listening to it. It's I love listening to it. Okay, so our little tier list, okay, because it does establish Alistair's character very, very nicely as much more menacing than we'd seen in the pilot. And go ahead and give it an A. And maybe it does also help to establish Hell, I will say, because of just Vox's complete dominance over the media. You do get the idea of how much influence the V's have, and even if the V's minus Valentino don't show up that much, Velvet is still going to show up in the next episode. And so it is nice to see just this complete monopoly that he has over the people of Hell, even if they're really willing to listen to Alistair again. But that does also help to establish Alistair's character as someone who is extremely charismatic, and it really doesn't matter how flashy Vox gets, because Alistair can just get back on the radio and use slang that he wouldn't have learned in the 1920s. And I don't know, maybe it's the visuals that just pop it up to tier A for me, because I just have to, I'm counting the visuals, and the use of colors in this, and I don't know, maybe I'm just giving Christian Borle points for singing this impossible song. I might move this one around. Oh god, I just like listening to it so much, so it's I'm biased. But it doesn't do that much. Oh god, I'm gonna put it down in B, but higher than... Okay. This wounds me.
We thought you could handle even something this simple. And do us a favor. If they don't kill you, go ahead and do it yourself, you miserable failure.
I... Just make it quick, I guess. Not that I deserve it.
Gladly.
Wait. Benches? It starts with sorry. That's your foot in the door, one simple sorry. Spoken straight from your core. The path to forgiveness is a twisting trail of hearts, but sorry is where it starts.
Who could forgive a dirtbag like me? I don't deserve your amnesty.
Can't we just kill him, shoot him and spill his blood?
That's an option you could choose.
Works for us.
But who hasn't been in his shoes? It starts with sorry.
Sorry.
Dig down deeper and say one sincere sorry.
I'm so sorry.
And your journey's underway.
It'll take time to cover my vast multitude of sins, but sorry is where it begins. It starts with sorry.
I hated that song. Why are you so
Okay, so the song, is I barely listen to it, but it's also going to go pretty high on the tier list because of what it does to establish Serpentia's character. It also goes further with Charlie and really her shades of gray thinking. Obviously Pentious just screwed up, but he, has potential to do good. And of course, he does do good. This ends up being really important. The idea that Charlie gives him the chance to be forgiven and to become better ends up how it does in the very end. That's super good. And I do also like that it establishes his relationship with Angel and Vaggie, especially Angel, because those two will end up being friends by the end of this. So it doesn't only help with Serpentious, but it helps with Angel as well, because once Angel starts letting walls down, that's when he can start becoming friends with people. So this is going to go actually pretty high on the tier list just because of what it does for a character whose progression from this song to being angelified is vital to the plot and is going to be so important in season 2, I'm sure. Okay, so going into our little tier list, it starts with Sorry. I'm actually going to put it in A because it really does start a journey for a character whose end of the journey is going to be so vital. And it also it gives Charlie a nice little Disney princess moment, but really it does establish her shades of gray thinking, that is how I like to think of Charlie, is kind of this shades of gray character. She is willing to see that in people. And that's what Heaven, of course, cannot see. It's what her dad cannot see for the first while. And it's just what she is always able to not only see, but also to encourage others to see. So, yeah, it starts with Sorry, actually goes with, for A with me in the tier list of, you know, this being a musical. It's kind of like Castle on a Cloud from Les Mis. I never listened to that song on its own, but I recognize that it's important for the character of Cosette. Okay, yay! This actually has a sing-along. Here we go.
Oh, what's the matter, Fossil? Too senile to make a real power grab?
You better show some respect. Check your behavior. No one speaks to Zestial that way. Did you expect us to sit back and take your insolent brazen display?
You've got it twisted. I'm not the one who needs a new attitude. Maybe you missed it, but I'm that hashtag bitch, and I will do nothing less than what I please. Woo! I'm the backbone of the vase. Mad that I acted respectless. Well, it's 'cause no one could respect this. Sorry, group attending. Since when are overlords too scared to fight? You're long past trending. Sorry, babe, but I ain't swiping right. You lost your relevance.
We can't act without more intelligence.
Ugh, no wonder I'm so respectless. I could eat you lot for breakfast.
You wannabes are inane and uninformed. Smug wannabes who don't heed when you've been warned.
Oops, did I strike a nerve? 'Cause when I brought out the angel's head, couldn't help but observe that your wrinkled face was turning red. And why are you avoiding war? That's what the guns you sell are for. Thanks to my being respectless, one thing I'm starting to suspect is, you know why this angel's headless? Do you have a disclosure?
This meeting's over!
That was a productive meeting.
Okay, so Respectless does suffer a little bit from the same thing as speaking Vox's song, you know, just she comes in, Velvet comes in so strong, and then we don't see her until episode 8 again, which is just really painful. But the song does do something other than establish Velvet's character. It does kind of show a little bit of solidarity among the overlords, which is something that, you know, I was curious about, like how are the overlords? Like, are they actually buddies? Are they actually willing to work together? Certainly it seems like Carmilla is setting Velvet and the V's off to a completely other side, which does help to establish the world for me, as well as Velvet's character, so Stayed Gone, that's Vox's song. And what it does do that Vox's song does and that Stayed Gone doesn't is it establishes that Carmilla killed the angel, because there's no way that you can actually, like, watch that and not think that she's guilty at the end. So, looking at our tier list, I'm going to go ahead and put it ahead of Stayed Gone and put it up in A. I won't put it ahead of Serpentius's development here because character stuff is really important for, like, a character who, you know, is his angelification changes everything at the very end. Velvet is not as important because she may become more important in season 2, which would rocket this song up. But as for where we are in season 1, we don't need this as much to establish her character. So in season 2, when she comes in and is hopefully, like, really vicious and really bad, and hopefully all the V's are like that, I'll be able to scoot this up, and I'll probably be able to scoot this one up as well. But until then, because the V's really didn't establish their presence, I do have to kind of knock them down a notch, unfortunately. Okay, on to whatever it takes. I love Zestial's face and design and voice. It's just everything.
Let's not talk about it.
Mom, maybe he should know.
Nobody should know. I did what I had to do.
Frank.
I am not discussing this.
What weighs on your soul, old friend? I implore you to share the load. If it was thou who slew the angel, why not let your strength be known?
I always thought that I would keep blood off my face, but when that thing attacked, I had to act to cross that line and keep them safe. But if anyone knew, then all of hell would rise to war, and who's to say who'd survive the fray? I might lose the ones that I was killing for. So I'll be your keeper. Do whatever it takes. I'll make the mistakes. I'll keep you safe and keep this secret. When I saw your face, you made me feel like a stranger in a brand new place, and it felt so good to be understood. But there's so much I wish that I could say. So I'll be your armor. Do whatever it takes. I'll make the mistakes. I'll spend my life being your partner. And I don't know what we might face, but I know I can't replace you. So I'll do anything to save you. And I will try to make your dreams come true. Whatever we go through, I know I'll be your keeper. Whatever it takes, I'll make the mistakes. Whatever it takes.
Okay, so if you've seen my Carmilla video, you know the issues that I have with Carmilla. It's really hard for me to rank this song for Carmilla because she doesn't end up really doing anything. She explains why she did do something, but this does not progress the plot forward. It only explains something that is already happening. And it takes away a mystery that might have been interesting. So, you know, I really can't, I can't with Carmilla's part. The one thing I will give is I really love the part where she talks about when that thing attacked and her eyes kind of glow for a second. It really shows just how effective the exorcists have been at really dehumanizing themselves. And this is great because they're meant to be angels, right? But they wear the creepy masks, and, you know, for the even overlords in hell, you know, just think of them as things. You know, they're so creepy, they're just things. There's nothing, they don't see them as souls who just happen to go to heaven instead of hell. They are not. It's almost like they weren't even human once. They're things. And I love that bit of world building right there. As far as Veggie, like, it does establish her character in regards to Charlie, and it certainly does allude to her big secret, and this song certainly means a lot more to me after knowing that she was an exorcist. So, you know, it does establish character. It doesn't do character progression. It does a little bit of world building with that thing attacked. But it's really hard for me to give it points to Carmilla because she doesn't end up doing anything. So... And she isn't set up to be an important character the way that the V's are for season 2. So... Yeah. It does establish Veggie, which is important. So, you know, I'll go ahead and put it after establishing Hell and Charlie, because there are better songs for establishing Charlie, honestly. Like, even Starts With Sorry is good for establishing Charlie. But yeah. Establishing Veggie is still important, even if Carmilla really isn't as important. It is good to get into Veggie's side of things and into that relationship a little bit. So, of course they can't have a nice lyric video for this one. Of course they can't have a nice lyric video for Poison. I hate them. I'm gonna slash throat or something, but... Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Obviously, this one is going to rank high. You guys already know this.
And action.
Oh, God, content warning?
I'm not a bubble up to cash in. Another lover underneath those flashing lights. Another one of those ruthless nights. Yeah. I should've guessed that this would happen. I should've known it when I looked in your red hot eyes, spewing all your red hot lies. Yeah. What's the worst part of this hell? I can only blame myself. 'Cause I know you're poison, you're feeding me poison. Addicted to this feeling, I can't help but swallow up your poison. I made my choices. Every night I'm living like there's no tomorrow. Any way you want me, baby, that's the way you got me. I'll be yours. My story's gonna end with me dead from your poison. I got so good at being untrue. I got so good at telling you what you wanna hear. I disassociate, disappear. Yeah. So far beyond difficult to resist another gulp. Yeah, I know it's poison, you're feeding me poison. I'm choking from the taste and I can't help but swallow up your poison. I made my choices. Every night I'm wasted like there's no tomorrow. My glass, but it's always hollow, full of poison. I'm sick of the poison. Wish I had something to live for tomorrow.
Right, so I hate everything. That song is so catchy. Well, just being, oh, it's so painful to watch. So obviously Poison is gonna go really, really high. It does so much to establish Angel's character. Like, I know that hasn't necessarily made other songs go super high, but it explains like everything about why Angel acts the way he does. You know, Happy Day in Hell does not explain why Charlie is so happy. It just, you know, makes us know that she's a happy-go-lucky kind of gal. Whatever It Takes does not establish why Veggie acts the way she does towards Charlie. It just establishes that she does view herself as her shield, her armor, all that stuff. Poison establishes what Angel is going through and why he acts the way he does. It also does a really good job of making us hate Valentino, who becomes the only V who remains relevant throughout the entire series. And God, did I hate him after this. The visuals are also so good with the smoke and the idea of just the, on-screen versus the off-screen, which will be mirrored later in Loser Baby. It's so good. It's so good. Everything about it just is so good. It also does help to establish the world. Just this brutal porn industry, and I know like in our world the porn industry is much better, but the fact that it can be so blatant and blatantly terrible, and just, you notice more than one demon who has the golden tooth that matches Val's, so you can guess that Val has done this to more than one person, but he's specifically targeting Angel because Angel is his favorite. And that last verse when Angel locks himself away, it's so powerful to me because that really is like Angel locking who he is away, because that is the true self that he is scared and miserable and can't even think of why he would want to be alive tomorrow. But he only expresses that once he's locked away, where no one else can hear him. Because that's what Angel does with himself. He does it physically in the song, but then he does it emotionally. He locks the part of him away that is vulnerable, that does want to, that isn't actually like doing drugs or drinking. He's just vulnerable. He's not putting on the front. It's like that is the part of Angel that is locked away, both physically in the song and emotionally. It's so good. So going into our tier list for Poison, I am going to go ahead and put in the S tier, and I'm going to go ahead and put it ahead of Adam. Sorry, Adam. The visuals just for this are so good, and what it does for one of our main characters is just phenomenal. Okay, on to Loser Baby. You guys know this one is gonna be really high up there too. Like, episode 4 is just, it's episode 4. There's just like nothing else to say about it. Okay, let's go.
So things look bad and
also.
your back's against the wall. Your whole existence seems
Reflection.
fucking hopeless. You're feeling filthy as a dive bar bathroom stall. Can't face the world sober and dopeless. You've lost your way. You think your life is wrecked. Well, let me just say you're correct.
Wait, what?
You're a loser, baby, a loser, goddamn baby. You're a fucked up little whiny bitch.
Hey.
You're a loser just like me.
Thanks, asshole.
You're a screws loose loser, and only one-star refuser. You're a power bottom at rock bottom, but you got company.
This supposed to make me feel better?
There was a time I thought that no one could relate to the gruesome ways in which I'm damaged. But letting walls down, it can sometimes set you straight. We're all living in the same shit sandwich.
I sold my soul to a psychopathic freak.
And you think that makes you unique? Get out of here, man. We're both losers, baby, we're losers. 'cause it's okay to be a
coked up dick sucking hoe.
Baby, that's fine by me.
I'm a loser, honey, a schmoozer and a dummy, but at least I know I'm not alone.
You're a loser just like me. I got an appetite for gambling.
I've got an appetite for sampling every drug and sex toy I can find.
Go ahead, baby, sing that song. Come on.
I got no holes left to deflower.
I sold my soul to save my power. Now I'm on that demon's leash. I'm trapped and it gets worse with every hour.
You're a loser, baby.
A loser, but just maybe if we eat shit together, things will end up differently. It's time to lose yourself, loathing, excuse yourself, let hope in, baby. Play your card, be who you are. A loser, just like.
There he is! They're fucking singing!
You know this one's gonna be high, okay? You know it's gonna be high. This song, it gets at one of the core messages of the show, right? That you can own who you are, find the people who will accept you as you are, and who will help you through those impossible times. I love the imagery of, in Poison, there was always the angel off screen and the angel on screen. Even in the scene where Val was throwing Angel around, there was the scene in the mirror where, you know, he would say, yes, Valentino, yes, Valentino, yes, Valentino, when he was in the mirror. But then when he turns around and is not in the mirror's reflection anymore, that's when he's saying, you know, please don't hurt Charlie. In this, we have the same thing happening. We have the reflection of Angel in the water, but then Husk walks right through it. He has his own reflection in the glass, but then he smashes the glass with his umbrella. So the idea that this fake self that has been shown in Angel when he's on screen, when he's in a mirror, when he's basically any time that it isn't focused on his real face, his reality, he doesn't have to, you know, he doesn't have to deal with it. But then Husk just steps right through. He steps right through that image of Angel being all alone, because he's not. Whatever Angel sees on screen or is reflected in a mirror or is recorded, that is not true. And so when Husk steps right through the scene of him being alone and all curled up on the side of the road, you know, it's like, that's not true. Husk being alone and miserable isn't true. He smashes his umbrella straight through it. So the visuals just kill me here, okay? On visuals alone. Just, oh gosh. But yeah, it hits at one of the core messages. It does a beautiful job with kind of wrapping up. Not wrapping up, because we're going to see it continue, but it starts Angel's progression. He starts to be able to let walls down. So as much as we saw from, you know, him locking himself away in the tower and only allowing that vulnerability out by himself, here he starts being able to accept who he is. He's able to, you know, and you can see that he is kind of vulnerable. He's like, you know, is it okay to be like a coked up bunch of words I don't want to say? And, you know, and Husk is just like, it's fine by me, you know, and that's so good. And it also does a really nice job with taking away Val's power over him, because Val has used those kinds of words in order to, you know, shame Angel in the past. And, you know, if people try to use words against you that you've accepted and, like, don't see as an insult, then it's like, whatever. So, yeah, let's put it in the rating system. Okay, so Loser Baby. is obviously going to go high. How high? I'm going to go ahead and put it at top tier S. Just because of how well it not only does character progression, which I think is more important than establishing a character. Like, if a character is different at the beginning, at the end of the song than they were at the beginning, that is an A+ song for me. And because this also gets at one of the core messages of the entire show, like, it's not only about can people be good or bad, is there shades of gray, can we actually change? One of the core messages is always, and this isn't just in Loser Baby, it's also in the finale song, it is always find the people who will, like, love you at your lowest and help you get up from there. And I think that's just a really great message. You know, like, it's not something that I see a lot. You know, it's like, usually it's like, oh, if you get a character who is like Angel, right? Instead of, you know, making... God, I live with elephants. Instead of taking it and being like, well, you need to be a better person and then maybe you can work your way up, this is like, man, you can be the worst, but I accept you anyway, and here you go. Here's my hand. I'm going to help you out. And this is just going to get into, like, you know, social problems for a second, but this isn't often a message that is extended to sex workers. You know, we as a society have this, oh my God, I do live with elephants. Sorry, sex workers are dehumanized in our society. You know, we see them in, you know, TV shows, in movies, you know, they're portrayed as just kind of lesser because of the choices that they've made. And that is so terribly unfair. I mean, and we shouldn't be looking at sex workers and going, oh, well, I guess they had no other choice or whatever. You know what? If you are a sex worker, you know, you are just as valid and important and worthy of people loving you, no matter why you're a sex worker, how it ended up that way, you know, and you are worthy of love and help and support and whatever it is else that you need. And that's my mini rant. Okay. Sorry about that. But, yeah, for this song and its message to be directed directly at a sex worker who, you know, those who just receive such stigma in our society, it's just really cool. It's really cool. Okay, moving on to episode 5. I'm so glad that both songs from episode 5 have sing-alongs, because they're the two that I listen to the most. I'll try not to let my bias show when ranking.
All right, then. Looks like you could use some help from the big boss of hell himself. Check out Daddy's glowing reviews on Yelp. 5 stars! Flawless! Really great! With a punch of a pentagram. A whack, bam, boom, a la Kazam. Usually I charge a sacrificial lamb, but you get the family rate. Thanks, Dad! Who needs a busboy now that you got the chef? Michelin tasting menu free, a la carte. I'll rig the game for you because I'm the ref. Champagne fountains, caviar mountains, that's just a start.
Who's been here since day one? Who's been faithful as a nun? Makes you chuckle with an old-timey pun. Your executive producer.
That's true.
I'm your guy, your day-to-day, your chum, your steadfast hotelier. Remember when I fixed that corn today?
I was stoked to meet you, sir. Oh, you.
I'm truly honored that we built such a bond.
Aww.
You're like the child that I wish that I had.
What?
I care for you just like a daughter I spawned.
Hold on now.
It's a little funny. You could almost call me Dad. They say when you're looking for assistance, it's smart to pick the path of least resistance.
Others say that in your needy hour, there's no substitute for pure angelic power.
Who just happens to also be your blood.
Sadly, there are times a birth parent is a dud. They say the family you choose is better.
What a bunch of losers.
Can you run out of my song?
Your song, I started this.
I'm singing it, I'll finish it.
Oh, you tacky piece
It's
of...
me, yes, it's me. I know you were all waiting for me. I'm here, what a guess. Took a while, but I'm present at last. It's me, Minzy.
Who?
Okay, I freaking love this song. Okay. It's just so much fun. I think it has the best visuals. I think it's got the top visuals, and then Stayed Gone is just a little bit below on just how eye-popping the visuals are. There's a lot in establishing character in this song, and also establishing whys. So kind of the same way that Poison established why Angel acts a certain way, this one also does the same thing, mostly with Lucifer. This is also the song that managed to convince Charlie and half the fandom that Alistair actually cares about her. Like, did you not get that he was just doing this to rile Lucifer up the entire time? I don't know, it's like half the people, like, I see so much stuff that it's like, Charlie has 2 dads now, and it's like, do you think he actually gives a... He doesn't. Look at how they interact in episode 7. You can tell that she's gotten past the whole idea that he cares about her. He just wants to make the deal. Anyway. Okay, so looking at this song, it does a lot to establish Lucifer as a character who is, first of all, he's desperate. But Jeremy Jordan is very good. He's very good at knowing when to kind of go into like a goofy voice or do more of his singy voice, or, you know, even when he should just like kind of talk. He's just incredibly he does incredible expressions when he sings. Just, you know, if you want to see him do like one of my favorite performances of him, and I think for a lot of people, is when he did "She Used to Be Mine" from Waitress. You can just Google that and or YouTube that or whatever, and it's amazing how much like he will build and build and build to get to the emotional climax. And in this, you can tell how desperate he is to get Charlie to love him, but the problem is that he's just promising her stuff. And yes, he is channeling the genie from Aladdin. That is a purposeful choice. Jeremy Jordan said that was a purposeful choice. That's who he was channeling. And it's really good to establish this character, and also why he and Charlie have fallen out. Which is something that they actually established right in the pilot on YouTube. But in episode 1, Alistair actually calls out Charlie in her daddy issues in his commercial. And we see why she has those daddy issues, because she wants words of affirmation. She wants to hear that she did a good job. She wants what Alistair is selling to her. Lucifer is trying to give her a lot of stuff. Alistair is telling you, oh, we have such a bond. Oh, I'm so glad that we're friends. You're like my daughter. Oh, I love you so much. You know, I mean, he doesn't say love you so much, but it's the vibe, you know? Like, oh, we're so close. Look what we did. We're so lovely together. And meanwhile, Lucifer is just like, can I give you stuff? Can I give you caviar? And so you can see why he and Charlie had their falling out, which, you know, has been the daddy issues thing has been a thing since episode 1, and it also gets into Lucifer's mindset, with his mental health issues, the idea that he feels that he needs to come in and overcompensate like that because he knows that he's been undercompensating. He knows that he hasn't been there. He's fully aware. He's not stupid. He knows that he's been a disappointing father to Charlie. So he tries to come in and comes in at 2,000%, which is not good. So, also, huge props to I really don't want to say this wrong, but I probably will. Amir Talay. Like, huge props to him because Jeremy Jordan has, like, this really, like, strong voice. And then, of course, Amir Talay has the freaking radio filter on. And he manages to really keep up with the strength and just the insane, like, quickness of the vocals here. Like, there is a time where it's hard. You can tell at some points that it's a little bit of a struggle, but he does a fantastic job. He is very, very good in this role. They're just both so good in their roles, and then you take both of them and you put them in a song together. And, I know that it's like, yeah, complain about the Mimsy part, but Mimsy was important because she prevented them from having a winner in this fight. Like, obviously it was going to be Alistair, but it was important for him to not win, almost, because it allows Lucifer to save face and to do more than anything later on, because he hasn't completely gotten crushed under Alistair's amazing attempt to convince everyone that he actually cares about Charlie. So, moving on to the tier list. Okay, tier list for Hell's Greatest Dad. Okay, so it does establish character and establishes why, which is what Poison does. But I'm not gonna put it up with I'm not gonna put it up with Poison and those three. However, it is going to go in the A tier because it does establish character plus reason for acting that way, just like Poison does, and why I also put Poison so high. And it does a whole lot for establishing a character who is going to end up being like a main character by the very end of the show, just because of how important he is. I'm gonna keep it behind It Starts With Sorry. You guys are like, why are you so obsessed with This Starts With Sorry? This is the funnest song ever, though. I'm gonna stick it in A for the importance to the complete Broadway experience, like the musical experience. Like, it isn't as important because Lucifer doesn't end up going to heaven at the end. I would give an arm and a leg for that to happen in season 2, but okay. It's great for establishing character. I will put more than anything higher than this. This is, like, I've listened to this like 200 times though. So when it comes to personal just listening to, I listen to this song like so many times a day. I just put it on repeat and do my chores. This one makes me cry like half the time that I watch it. So, yeah. Sorry about if that happens. Okay.
Charlie! You don't understand. Heaven never listens. They didn't listen to me. They won't listen to you.
You don't know that!
I do.
You didn't know that when I tried this all before. My dreams were too hard to defend. And in the end, I won't lose it all again. Now you're the only thing worth fighting for. More than anything, more than anything, I'll shelter and adore you more than anything.
Dad, I don't need you to protect me from this.
I just don't want you to be crushed by them like I was.
Dad, when I was young, I didn't really know you stories and I was enthralled. The tales about your lofty dreams, I listened breathlessly, imagining it could be me. So in the end, it's the view I had of you that show me dreams can be worth fighting for. More than anything, more than anything, I need to save my people more than anything.
I've been dying to find out who you are.
I've been waiting, wanting the same thing.
Looks like the apple doesn't fall far.
Took you a while.
I've missed that smile. All that I'm hoping, now that my eyes are open, is that we can start again, not be pulled apart again. 'Cause in the end, you are part of who I am. I'll support your dream, whatever lies in store.
And who could ask for
more than anything? More than anything. I'm grateful you're my daughter. More than anything. More than anything.
Okay. Boy. So, this song is important because it establishes some whys. And establishes some whys for our main character. Why is Charlie the way she is? Why is she a dreamer? It's because of her dad's influence. So we don't just see that she's this, believer in people. She got this from someone, and that someone is her dad. And that's just that's so cool. So immediately it does establish a why for a character, which is important. It does a lot with Lucifer for explaining why he acts the way he does, not just, in Hell's Greatest Dad, he is acting a certain way. This song establishes why he acts a certain way, because she's all he has left. He's desperately trying to hold on to her. He will protect her through anything. This song is also great for character progression. I did a video that was about this episode entirely, basically, about Charlie having to see her dad not in a black and white view, because she has kind of seen him as basically all responsible for the extermination. And then throughout this episode, she's able to learn that there were shades of gray, that Lucifer doesn't have power when it comes to heaven, and how important it is that she can kind of fix her relationship with her father and not see him in a black and white mentality, for her to be able to go up to heaven and then advocate for shades of gray. Like, she has to make the journey herself, in being able to take someone who has caused her emotional pain and be able to see the whys and the grays. Just in terms of composition, this song is really great because they have Erica go so high and really take those just wonderful, beautiful notes, like, that just go so high when they start actually harmonizing. And they keep Jeremy Jordan, they keep him so, he really stays pretty low for much of the time when he's singing with Charlie, which is, you know, they didn't have to do that because he's got insane range. He can go very, very high for a male singer. He's got incredible range, but they very much left it so that he is supporting her through the song. And that's just an interesting way of kind of promoting the new relationship that they have through the way that the song was written. Like, he could have been up there being just as, like, you know, beautiful and hitting high notes, but no, he really stays down in a lower register while she takes on these beautiful high notes. But I will also give them huge props to that moment where he does the falsetto and it kind of breaks, and there I go. So this song is really important for moving Charlie forward in terms of being able to see in Shades of Grey, and for Lucifer, it explains why he is the way it is. It explains why Charlie is the way she is, and it also explains why Lucifer is going to act differently. Well, he acts differently at the end of the song than he does at the beginning of the song. Like, he's been convinced to support her, even though heaven still scares him to death. But he's going to support her dream, and it does show us by the end of the season how he will fight for her, even though he didn't in the past. So that is character progression. That's something that, like, when I criticized the V song because we didn't see them actually, like, come forward and, like, really establish themselves by the end of the season, and that's the difference between a song like More Than Anything, because he does actually step forward and become kind of the person that he pledges in that song to be. Not only supports her, but he fights for her and he believes in her. So this song is gonna go high. Okay, so More Than Anything, gosh. It's going in the S tier. It's going in the S tier. So far, I'm very, very equal. I can't decide. I think... More Than Anything does also establish heaven. You know, it doesn't listen. It, you know... He does not... Lucifer does not, like, promise that heaven is going to listen to her. He just says, I'll support you. It's like, you know, they aren't gonna listen, but I will be there for when they don't. So I still think that Adam's song is more important for establishing heaven, especially because it comes in the first episode. So I'll keep More Than Anything here behind it, but know in my heart of hearts, it pains me to do so, because these two songs are my absolute favorite to listen to, so, yeah. It's a great song, though, and I especially just love what they did with having them harmonizing. It's so clever. It's so clever. It's such a clever way of portraying a relationship. Okay, up to heaven.
Dearly beloved, it is my pleasure to say unto thee, welcome to heaven, oh, where the virtuous reside 24/7, oh, people are happy that they died, cause here we got no worries, got no burglaries, no strife, it's the perfect afterlife, welcome to heaven, oh, check out our sick decor, the spirit's there, and oh, please keep your brimstone off the floor, we got the best and brightest, the politest of the lot, and everyone is hot.
Gosh, I'm so pleased to show some outsiders around. After you see all round, you'll never want to go back down.
Of course it is just temporary. I'm sorry you can't stay.
'Cause every single day in heaven is a happy day. Welcome to heaven.
Okay, so, you can probably guess this is gonna go pretty low on my tier list. it does establish that heaven is superficial as heck, but I'm not sure we actually needed to know that. I mean, we could already kind of get that from the interaction with St. Peter at the gate. I don't think we needed to see the candy-coated streets of heaven in order to get that heaven is just... What's important is the trial in which we see the hypocrisy of heaven. And so this song, it kind of feels like they just wanted to hit their 2-song quota. And it's not a bad song. Darren Criss, like, crushes it. Like, that slide up, it's great, and I love how St. Peter's, like, out of breath at the end. But, while it does, like, establish, you know, like, oh, look, here's heaven, it's basically hell, but everybody's nicer. The important part of heaven is what we saw through Adam and through what's going to happen at the hearing, or the trial, or whatever they call it. And that's the hypocrisy. So, like, if I had been able to, like, you know, if I was part of the team, I think I probably would have, you know, preferred to get more Sarah, perhaps. Like, Sarah just singing a soft song about how she doesn't like Charlie coming in, because Sarah is interesting, of course. And I love the way that she never, like, refers to Charlie as Charlie. Like, she's always the relation to Lucifer. You know, daughter of the morning star, Lucifer's misguided daughter. Like, she doesn't refer to Charlie as Charlie, and I think that's a really interesting choice. Which, you know, just makes me think that she and Lucifer actually had a very personal relationship. Perhaps he was also a seraph. That is supported by a couple of details, such as the 6 wings and the fact that all the eyes show up in his coat when he goes into, like, full demon form. You know, like, there's a couple of things. Because only the seraphs are shown to have 6 wings. And yeah, it's just not that important, you know? Like, I think we've already established that heaven is very hypocritical, and I didn't really need to walk down the street in order to get that. And the most important part of the song, I think, was showing Emily's naivete versus Sarah being like, yeah, but you're not gonna be staying here. So even if it had been like a duet between Emily and Sarah to show how their relationship is, how Emily has that just belief in Sarah, that then would make what happens to them during You Didn't Know more meaningful. I would have liked that more, probably. So, just going into our tier list. Because heaven doesn't really establish anything of note, it's going in the sea. I'm sorry. But it doesn't establish any characters that are important, you know, like, it establishes that Emily is, like, sweet and stuff, but, you know, it's like, we already got that from her being M-E-E, you know, whatever, like, we get that she's sweet, like, you know, there's nothing that we haven't gotten from the dialogue that this song gives us. It adds nothing. It's cute, but it adds nothing.
Get someone into heaven?
This questioning stops now. We know when a soul arrives. We know when they pass divine judgment. It is our job to ensure these souls are safe.
But she was right, Sarah. She showed us a soul can improve. He saw the light, Sarah. Checked all the boxes that you said would prove a person deserves a second chance. Now we turn our backs, no second glance.
It's not as simple as you think. Not everything is spelled in ink.
It's not fair, Sarah.
Careful, Charlie, keep a cool head.
No, don't you care, Sarah? That just because someone is dead, it doesn't Are you saying, let me get this straight, you go down there and kill those poor souls? You didn't know.
Whoops.
Yes, the cat's out of the bag.
What's the big deal?
Sarah, tell me that you didn't know.
I thought since I'm older, it's my load to shoulder.
No.
You have to listen, it was such a hard decision. I wanted to save you, the anguish it takes to do what was required.
To think that I admired you, well, I don't need your condescension. I'm not a child to protect. Was talk of virtue just pretension? Was I too naive to expect you to heed the morals you're purveying? That's what the fuck I've been saying. If hell is forever, then heaven must be a lie.
Emily.
If angels can do whatever and remain in the sky, the rules are shades of gray when you don't do as you say, when you make the wretched suffer just to kill them again. I was told not to trust in angels.
By her?
She should know.
We should go.
No! Don't you see? We've come so close. Look at them fighting. They're at each other's throats.
Don't you act all high and mighty. Did you ever think your little girlfriend might be a liar?
Don't, Adam, please.
What's the fuss? Why hide the fact that you're an angel just like us?
Just in terms of, like, you know, importance in the musical, this one is going to go really, really, really high. You know, because it establishes that heaven, you know, while they have this black and white mentality of what is good, what is evil, they didn't know about the exterminations. This is huge. And it's really big for Sarah's character, that she was, you know, holding it all on her own. It's good for Emily's character, that she, you know, sheds some naivety and stops kind of idolizing Sarah. It's so good for Charlie because she just jumps up on there and yells at the angels. Like, that, just such a show of authority. Like, that is the princess of hell. That is the princess of hell. She might not have realized it yet, but man, has she ever just jumped into it and said, hey, y'all gotta listen to me, okay? You're wrong. I'm just gonna yell at a whole courtroom full of angels. I love it. And of course we have Veggies reveal, which is important. It also does show, like, Adam's just completely vindictive side. Like, we've seen him being, like, a jerk, and we've seen him being just, you know, awful with the whole, yeah, I enjoy killing things, but this is just, it's just petty and vindictive, and he just gets worse and worse every time we see him, honestly. I love the reprise of Hell is Forever. I love it when they just, you know, it just brings back all the themes that Hell is Forever had in it and just applies them to this song as well. So good. Yeah, okay. Oh, I have, like, no coherent thoughts besides, like, so good, so important. It might not be the one that you want to listen to the most, but the themes and the realizations and the big moments, like, there were two big really moments, right? Like, there's, oh my gosh, the heaven doesn't know about the exterminations. That's huge. And then there's Veggie as an exorcist. Of course, that's not for the audience to be surprised about, but for Charlie to be surprised about. And, you know, since Charlie's our protagonist, yeah, we gotta be surprised with her. Really, it's the way that Adam reveals it. He's such a... Also, I hope that Lute sings more in season 2, because it's like, you got someone who literally played, like, Elphaba on stage, and she only has, like, a couple of lines in this song. Anyway, so this song is going to go high, even though it's not one that I can necessarily listen to a lot. Okay, so you didn't know. It is going to actually go. It's gonna S tier for me, just because of how important it is to the plot. Like, it moves the plot along, and it does some big reveals. Charlie comes into her own, and she's also able to exhibit that, you know, showing off of, you know, like, stop your black and white thinking, you know, those shades of gray that I talked about, how she learns to recognize those with Lucifer, how she, you know, then comes into her own there. So I struggle whether to put it before or after Hell is Forever. Just 'cause it's such a big thing that the rest of heaven does not know about the extermination, actually. But, oh, you know what? Because it features Charlie, just, like, I love that she just jumps up there and just starts yelling. It's so great. So I'm gonna put it there. I might change my mind on some of these later. Like, I'll be laying awake at night and I'll be like, no, I should have done it a different way. But this is the way it's going right now. So let's move on.
Have you ever wanted something that was so clear in your mind that you could taste it?
You mean like human flesh?
Sort of. It's a feeling like a rumbling in your gut that you could finally be faced with a billion needy faces. I guess what I mean to say is, for the first time in my life, I might have to be ready for this. Ready to be the one who's leading from the front. Gotta come into my own. Gotta come into my throne. Gotta take charge and defend my only home. And although I kind of feel unsteady now, I need to be ready for this. Have you ever felt like you're willing to die to save the people of your city?
By die, do you mean use my teeth to rip flesh apart?
That's a start, 'cause right now we need a leader, and it seems to me that destiny has picked me to be that, if you'll permit me. So who's with me? Wouldn't it be super to see more of hell? Join up now if you like travel. Come on, boys, hop in the saddle. A lot of sights to see en route to my hotel. Not to mention the camaraderie. Yes, sirree, you'll form life-changing friendships with the folks along the way.
And feast on all the angels you can eat.
Okay.
Breathe,
It's time now to act. They're on the attack. When they move to strike, we will fight, fighting back. We'll follow your lead. We're eager to feed. We'll sharpen our teeth for the heavenly feast. From this moment on, you can count on us to be resolute and rallying us. Our appetites are wet and we're set to seize the day. So I say, oh hey, come join the flesh buffet.
Well, that's a little violent. Can we tone it down?
Oh, don't be put off by the snarling. That's enthusiasm, darling.
They just seem a little murdery right now.
Don't worry, honey, that's their thing. Keep singing. We're super duper grateful to have you folks aboard.
Can't wait to taste an angel's wings.
Oh, Lord. For the first time in my life, maybe I can be ready for this. I can be the marshal leading the parade. I can come into my own, and I think I've always known my destiny could never be postponed. When Adam brings the battle here, I must appear like I'm ready for this.
They're dancing along. They're singing her song.
Surprised why I knew she could do it all along. She's bound to pass the test as princess of hell. Like her daddy, she is badly powerful. She's filled with potential that I could guide.
I concur.
Stick with her, you'll be on the winning side.
For the first time in our lives, we know that we are ready for this.
We'll show heaven a fight they won't forget.
It's time to take a stand.
It is time to lend a hand against the angels and their deadly threat.
We cannot take it anymore. The time has come to go to war. Prepare to fight. We're ready for this.
I really hope that I'm ready for this.
Okay, so obviously this one is also going to go really high because it is Charlie's song. It is Charlie's song. She acts differently at the end than she does at the beginning. She does really come into her own. It's beautiful. And it's nice that we actually get it from the cannibals because, you know, that is part of Happy Day in Hell is specifically going to Cannibal Town and, you know, why? Oh, his brains are in my eye! You know, so it is a nice callback to the very beginning when she was, like, a little bit more naive, and now she's come here, and she's ready for Adam to, you know, come, and she's like, I got an army now, bud. An army now. I do also like that, you know, even though Alistair doesn't really do much this season in terms of actually direct action that affects people, he does sing more about, you know, she's full of potential that I could guide. And Rosie actually shows a little bit of her own, you know, overlord side in, you know, I concur, you should definitely stick with her. You know, the idea that, you know, Rosie, I really love Rosie, but she does also have her best interests at mind, and Alistair always has his own interests in mind. So it's just a nice little reminder of, you know, they might be doing a little goofy dance in the background, but they are not necessarily not having sinister thoughts. Anyway, yeah, so, ranking. Okay, because this is so important for Charlie, like, because it's so important for Charlie, you're gonna say I'm crazy for this, but you're actually, you are, but I'm gonna put it right behind Loser Baby. Loser Baby still has the themes and the, you know, Angel acts differently at the beginning than it does at the end, and but it's mostly because of the themes right there that I'm gonna keep it ahead of Ready for This. But because this is Charlie's song where she comes into her own and she is her main character, and she actually like goes and gets an army and convinces them to follow her. She's so great. She's so great. You know, she's doing like. She's doing what Lilith did once, you know, inspiring hell with her song. She really is coming into her throne, and it's so wonderful, and so it has to go in front of the others. Sorry. And that's just, you know, that's purely from a what does it do for the musical perspective. So then
You're driven by your detestation. Your every step is stoked with animus. You need a different type of motivation, or there's no way that you can handle this. I know you're thirsting for vengeance, Baggy, you're out for blood, but you'll only stand a chance if you're out for love. Out for love, love. Think of who you care about, protect them and be out for love. Fuel yourself with the fear of losing that somebody who's your reason to live. Harness your heart and you can't help choosing to fight with all you can give. I know you're thirsting for vengeance, Faggy, you're out for blood, but you'll only stand a chance if you're out for love. Out for love, love. Think of who you care about, protect them and be out for love, love. You're gonna fight without gloves, and when that push comes to shove, yeah, you just might rise above, long as you're out for love. Well, look at that.
Okay, so I got several problems with this song. First of all, the lyrics get really repetitive. It is also basically an exact repeat of what Carmilla was singing about in her previous song. Like, why did she act? She acted out of love for her daughters. Why will she continue to act? Because she loves her daughters. She will protect them. So she's just singing the same thing, except she's singing it to Vaggie. And then she's singing it to Vaggie saying, I can see that you're out for blood, except in this entire episode, Vaggie has not been shown to be angry towards Heaven. She's been angry, kind of regular Vaggie angry, because she's a pretty angry character. She's been angry towards Alistair because he made the deal with Charlie, and she's been annoyed with Carmilla for not opening the door, but she has not had a line where she specifically is talking about being angry at Adam and Loot and Heaven. So when Carmilla's singing, "Oh, I can see that you're out for blood, you're out for vengeance," it really does not hit true for me because we haven't seen any of that. She's telling us, we haven't been shown. So yeah, it's one of my reasons. So yeah, I think the lyrics are weak. I think that the message is weak because we've already heard it, and it really doesn't apply to Vaggie. So, and Carmilla is not going to end up fighting, so it doesn't apply to her either. So this is a song with weak lyrics that the lyrics do not apply to either character who is involved in the song. So, yeah, it's a weak song. There is ways that I think it could have been made better, and that would have been to make it another duet. I think giving Vaggie verses where she actually sang about being angry towards Adam in Heaven and maybe worrying that this, that she's going to lose her relationship with Charlie, and then having Carmilla sing about, like, you can't focus on that, even if you lose Charlie, like how even if you lose her, you still love her. You still fight. You still fight for those you love. Like, no matter the circumstance, you fight for those you love. And I think that it could have been a much more moving song, especially if it had some sort of progression, because another thing with this song is that it really just kind of starts... It starts hype, and then it just continues to be hype. It doesn't really build much. There's a little bit of building, but it doesn't build much. Certainly not at the level of, like, ready for this. Even their original song duet, where she all of a sudden kind of goes into, like, the rock opera, is very cool. And so, I wish that they had, like, made this a duet where Vaggie could have, like, expressed those feelings of anger, and Carmilla could, kind of, steer her back away from that. And when Vaggie kind of realizes, okay, I do have to, I do have to focus on who I love, not who I hate, then she could have had her wings spread back. And I think that would have actually been a much more meaningful song, and it would have given Vaggie another song, which would be nice because she's the main character, whereas Carmilla isn't. So I think that a duet between the two of them would have been would have been nice. I would have liked it a lot more if it was a duet that actually let Vaggie show that anger, that allowed her to be angry. And yeah, you can just kind of guess where this is gonna go. Okay, because this song does, absolutely nothing for either character involved except Carmilla looks hot during it. I guess I'm gonna put in C. I'm not gonna put in D because I don't feel like putting anything in D. But it is the weakest song on the entire show for me. Like, I wish they had just made it so that it applied to either character. Give Vaggie her anger so that, being told that she should fight for love actually means something. She has never stopped loving Charlie as much as she does. She loves her so freaking much. And that hasn't changed. Of course she's fighting for love. She always has. Okay, I'm shutting up. I'm moving on. Moving on.
What if we lose? You've already done so much. So many lives you've changed. So many souls you've touched. And in the end, if it's only me you've saved, there's something that I've been dying to say.
Okay, so as much as I, obviously love seeing a kiss between the girls, and I think it's really important to kind of solidify their relationship where it is. Extra people. I do wish that they'd chosen a different song to do a reprise of. Like, Hell is Forever made sense because it was, repeating kind of the hypocrisy of Hell. When they did You Didn't Know. It was like, inserting Hell is Forever here makes sense. But the original, more than anything, is a love song between familial figures. And I think that a song that had been more focused on Veggie and Charlie in the beginning would have made sense if they had, rewritten Out for Love the way that I was kind of mentioning it. I think that maybe a softer reprise of Out for Love, slower, slowing it down, would have been a really pretty way of doing that. They could have also they could have also done a reprise of whatever it was, Carmilla and Veggie's first duet. Whatever It Takes. They could have done a reprise of Whatever It Takes, just taking the same melody, and she does, because Veggie does sing, I'll be for I want to be your partner, so it could have been slowed down, made sweet, and because it was originally Veggie singing about how much she loves Charlie, I think I would have liked that more than taking a song that was Lucifer and Charlie. I mean, I get that it is definitely the sweetest song, that more than anything is definitely the sweetest song that they have on the soundtrack, but I think it would have been better to take a song that was already about Charlie and Veggie and making that into the reprise. But it is nice to get them to reaffirm that they, love each other, but that was kind of also done in the previous episode when Charlie forgave her, so I don't know. I want to put it high because, Girls Loving Girls is so good. But I'm gonna put it in B. Just because I think I really think that they should have picked a different song to reprise there. One that was already relevant to their relationship, to those two. Okay, final song. How much do you guys hate my rankings? Final song. Okay, this one's gonna be high up there, I'm warning you now. For numerous reasons.
He did it for us. The ultimate sacrifice. He gave me his trust. And look how we paid the price. This bloodshed could have been avoided if I convinced heaven to work together. I took a hotel and I destroyed it. I know I could have done better instead of letting you down.
Come on, little lady, why the frown? In the last 10,000 years, you're the first one to change this town. You can do this, now I know it. For your story has just begun. You can't quit now, hell, you owe it. There's still damage to be undone. You've changed my mind, you've touched their hearts, found the good in souls gone bad. The stage is wrecked, the crowd is gone, but by God, Charlie, the show, it must go on.
We can do this, we can build it.
best hotel that you've ever seen. Twice the bedrooms, we can fill it with more sinners than you can dream. It starts with you, you know it's true. Fulfill your destiny.
So long as I've got all of you with me. To build a hotel, I think we need some brick and lumber.
Good thing we're in hell. Check out this little magic number. Start with foundation. A remedial creation for me. It's as easy as can be.
No time for crying, we got a lot of work to do, and we gotta try and make the best of what's in ruin. New coat of paint,
New lights across the marquee
with a little sorcery.
After the battle, masterless cattle, overlords hanging by a thread. With a bit of bravado, maybe tomorrow we'll be atop the heap. While the rest of hell's pissing, Alistair's missing, bled with his tail between his legs. Nature abhors a power vacuum, it leaves room for you and me. The future of hell belongs to the V's.
This place reeks of death. There's a chill in the air, and I barely escaped being killed by a hair. Great Alistair, altruist, died for his friends. Sorry to disappoint, that is not where this ends. I'm hungry for freedom like never before. The constraints of my deal surely have a back door. Once I figure out how to unclip my wings, guess who will be pulling all the strings?
We'll be better, though redemption may take a while. We're sinners, clear their ledger,
and we're doing it with a smile.
We'll make a difference, wait and see. We're gonna do this, you and me.
and then tomorrow it will be a fucking happy day in hell.
We'll give him this. We'll give him this.
What? Where am I? Oh. Hello?
Okay, so obviously this song is the culmination of everything, right? It starts with talking about Serpentius, which, if we go back to my thing and I talk about how, you know, Star's story is so important because, you know, it catapults Serpentius into his whole journey of becoming a better person. This is the one, he did it for us, the ultimate sacrifice. That, and then we know that he, you know, nothing happened, you know, so it is the culmination of those two songs. It is the end of a journey of him doing the ultimate good thing of sacrificing himself in order to try to save his friends. So that's so good. So that's just like in the first 5 seconds. And then Charlie, you know, singing, oh my gosh, it gives me chills, you know. Saying that she could have done better, like taking that doubt in herself. Like she stepped up as a leader and then things don't go as planned. And so it's like, you know, should I have even tried to do this? You know, like it's, you know, should I have even tried to do this? Should I have led people? No. I mean, I didn't even manage to get heaven on my side. And then you get Lucifer stepping in, and then he repeats the message of the show. Well, first of all, the fact that in 10,000 years she's the first one to actually change hell. That's so important, you know, for Charlie. She has changed hell. But then you can do this, and now I know it. That's such a change from I'm going to support you. It's actually like, I know you're actually going to do it. And of course, now we're getting back to Happy Day in Hell. Our reprise from when Charlie was just this kind of naive girl who thought that, you know, oh, hell is so great and I'm going to explain it to heaven and heaven will understand and then they'll, you know, my hotel will just rehabilitate people and it'll be so great and easy and rainbows and kittens and butterflies and cotton candy. And then it isn't that. The reality is this wreckage. but you can do this now. I know it. For Your Story has just begun. Beautiful callback to the fact that the show begins with the story of hell. You can't quit now. Hell, you owe it. It's the same thing as the loser baby. You know, you're rock bottom, but guess what? There's people here who support you, and they're gonna pull you up from rock bottom. Also, for Lucifer character development, you changed my mind. You touched their hearts. Found the good and soul's gone bad. Like, that's so good. Obviously for him, it's huge cute character development. You know, he can actually see the shades of gray in souls now, which is fantastic. Just shows how he has changed, and it then gets at, like, the idea of, can we change as people? Can we become better? We can. You know, just given... Even if we feel like our worst selves, like the worst versions of ourselves, we have a chance to change and be better. We always do. You're never at a place where you don't have a choice to become better. It might not be the easiest choice, but you always have that choice, and that's just lovely. I love that at the very beginning in Happy Day in Hell, Charlie sings that she's going to fulfill her destiny. And then in this one, everybody sings that she's going to fulfill her destiny, but then she says, as long as all of you are with me. And that's just lovely, because it's basically that show of accepting that, okay, I am at rock bottom, but if I have all of you, I think I can get back out of it. Love that. Alistair's part is so good, just because it sets up what he is going to be doing in season 2. What is his motivation? He almost died to Adam, okay? So he's going to be spending season 2 trying to get out of his deal. So hopefully Alistair will be doing more, like, active stuff, trying to, like, actively get himself out of his deal, trying to, like, make good on that deal with Charlie so that he can, you know, it just promises that Alistair is going to be a more active character, and I love it. Also seeing the V's again. Fox is so skinny, oh my god. I mean, he is a TV, so I guess I should expect it, but he's so skinny. You know, and I love that they're singing about getting more involved, because of course they kind of dropped off the map for a while, so in this finale, you can really tell who's going to be important in season 2. You know, we have the hotel characters. We can tell that Sherry is going to probably join the hotel. I will eat my boot if she doesn't join the hotel. Lucifer is going to be a much more important character because he's right there. He's in the final shot with Charlie. It's her, Veggie, and her dad. Like, that's the final shot of Charlie. So you can guess that Lucifer is going to be more important. And, yeah, basically, the characters who are featured in this song, you can guess, are going to be more important. So, of course, Charlie, Lucifer, Alistair, the V's, we can guess that those are characters who are going to be more important in season 2. So, yeah, okay, so going into the tier list, finale song, it hits up the character developments from Sir Pentious to Charlie to Lucifer to even characters like Angel and Husk, who are now singing about how they're going to rebuild the hotel with her. They all care about Charlie, they love her, and they just, you know, where at the beginning they might have been apathetic, it's like, no, we are going to build a better hotel and we're going to fill it with sinners and we believe that this is possible. We all believe in your dream. That's so good. And it repeats the message of, you know, rock bottom, but find the people who support you, and guess what, you know what? Man, people are always ripping on Charlie. Like that, Katie Killjoy, she's always ripping on Charlie about how she can't do anything. You know what? She does so much. They rebuilt this beautiful hotel, and she got Sir Pentious into heaven, which I know doesn't technically happen in the song, but Charlie does something wonderful. And you know what? I bet that if Angel had done something like what Sir Pentious did, he would have gone straight up to heaven as well. Like, she's doing it. She just doesn't realize it. And Yeah, so it hits the messages. You get character development. Charlie, God, I mentioned Sir Penn, Angel, just everybody character development. Maybe not Vaggie so much because she still loves Charlie. But everybody changing from being very apathetic about the hotel to actually really caring about it. And, well, with the caveat of Alistair, he's really just now way determined to get out of his contract. And it was so exciting to see that, like, actual anger from him. Oh, so good. And the V's are going to be, you know, making a power play. So really excited for that. So this song, like, hits up everything that you want in a finale song. You see all the important characters. It's setting up who's going to be important. It hits up the themes. It hits up, like, how the characters have changed. It's just, and then it is a wonderful reprise of the very first song of the season. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It goes far in front of Happy Day in Hell, even though it is very much a reprise. It is so important. So obviously it's S tier. I question whether, I think I'm probably going to put it behind Loser Baby, just because Loser Baby is the one that introduces the theme of being at rock bottom and having other people kind of help you up. Whereas this one kind of repeats that theme and makes it apply to Charlie, which is obviously really important, but it gets introduced in Loser Baby. But yeah, this is I'm gonna make it big, just a sec. Yeah, so this is the final tier list, starting with Out for Love at the bottom here, then Welcome to Heaven, going for the reprise of More Than Anything, then going to Whatever It Takes, Happy Day in Hell, one I really wish I could put further up because I love it so much, but yeah, Stayed Gone, Respectless, Hell's Greatest Dad. Oh, I can't believe that this one is so high up there, but it is actually so important and ties into the finale song so well. So it starts with Sorry. More Than Anything, Hell Is Forever, You Didn't Know, Poison, Ready for This, Show Must Go On, and Loser Baby. That is my tier list of the songs as they appear in the musical. So, like, again, this is not my personal tier list of, like, what I would listen to the most. It's just, like, how important I find them in the actual show for, like, progressing the musical forward. So, obviously, very different. You know, very different from what my actual, like, playlist looks like. Just what I've listened to the most, you know? And a lot of this might actually change in season 2 if I just consider season 2 as just a continuation of season 1, because if the V's start taking like a way more, you know, powerful stance, then stuff like Respectless and Vox's song, Stayed Gone, Respectless, Stayed Gone, those are gonna like shoot up because they were precursors to whatever bad stuff that Vox and Velvet are gonna get into. So yeah, those will probably shoot right up. But yeah, this is a really long video, oh my god. But I wanted to listen to all the songs again, and, you know, hopefully you enjoy listening to all the songs again, because they're so much fun. They're so good. The songs in the show are so good. Anyway, I'm Kira. I don't have a fancy I don't have a fancy ending either. I hope you're doing well wherever and whenever you are, and I'll be coming back with a Hell of a Boss reaction video really, really soon. So bye.